beginning of Ratha Yatra, that's something very auspicious time to start something. Why?
Yes.
Why?
First of all, because Guru Maharaj said so. That's enough. But there are times that have been indicated on the calendar as beginnings. So I just happen to know them. I can't give you now like quotes to back up what I know, but like Akshaya Tritiya is another one. It's a little bit behind us. After that comes the Rath Yatra. And Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, they said this is a good time for beginning. We could say, because that's when the chariot starts, it's Krishna going back to Vrindavan. It's the ultimate auspiciousness. Right? Look, Mahaprabhu has two focal points of his pastimes. The one that's internal, behind closed doors with Srup Damodar and Ramananda, we're told Uddhava Darshane. It's like when Uddhava comes to the Braja Gopis with the message. So that's very internal. That's the ultimate high thing, behind closed doors with Ramananda and Srup. I'm saying this one inverted, right? But what's the other one? Is the Rath Yatra. These are the two, and they're both separation zenith points, right? The one extreme, that's where the songs of Chandidas and songs we've never heard are being quoted, and Karnamritam, Gita Govinda, all of that, Jagannath Balavanatha, that's all behind closed doors with two people. This, in some sense, is public. Even though what's going on is extremely internal, it's taking place in a public setting, right? The Rath Yatra festival. So Mahaprabhu, he's singing Yakumara Hara, singing songs like this. Remember, the devotees, they're Jnana Shunya Bhaktas, Sharal, Vaishnava, Mahaprabhu's singing something that is beyond their capacity to understand. Right? It doesn't bother them. They're just saying, oh, it's mysterious and wonderful and beautiful. They're not analyzing, wow, why did he, maybe some, but that would be a small group. But for them, they're just, whatever, they're participating. And remember, Advaita Acharya and his son Achyutananda, Gopal, he has the three good sons are from Sita Thakurani. Achyutananda, Krishna Misra, Gopal. The three others are the three others. But it's Achyutananda who, when he's a little boy, this is so beautiful, like, he is so much in love with Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu came and visit, and they meet, he's like 3, 4, 5 years old. He's the one when overheard Advaita Acharya talking to someone who said, who's Mahaprabhu's guru? And Keshava Bharati, And then Achyutananda comes in, Father, what nonsense you're talking. He's talking to Mahavishnu. Telling Mahavishnu, you're talking nonsense. So you tell me, what is the spiritual world? What is Krishna consciousness? That a 5-year-old boy can chastise the Mahavishnu. And he'll appreciate that. And he said, Mahaprabhu, he's Jagat Guru. He doesn't have a guru. He's the guru of the guru's guru. And what you're saying, if people hear what you're saying, the whole world will become ruined. And what does Advaita Acharya think? Like, come here, son. Like, what a nice boy I've got. And when Mahaprabhu meets him, he says to Achyutananda, he says, Advaita brought Mahaprabhu down. Right? So Mahaprabhu says to Achyutananda, he said, you and I are brothers. We share the same father. So he's very dear and very special to Mahaprabhu. He is the lead dancer in the group from Shantipur. And Gopal, his other brother there, singing, becomes too ecstatic on this time. When they have a kirtan after the cleansing, and remember, they're washing everything. And we can understand these devotees, sometimes someone pours water on Mahaprabhu's lotus feet and then cups that water, then giving to different people. Mahaprabhu doesn't know. But one person gets so bold that he just goes up and pours water on Mahaprabhu's feet and takes the water away. He's like, And Mahaprabhu, that's when Mahaprabhu calls Swarup Damodar and says, "Your Gaudiya, this guy, what is this? What's he doing?" And he's saying, "Look, I'm just a soul, a jiva soul, and what's he doing? This is all improv." He's showing another kind of thing. And Swarup Damodar grabs that guy by the neck. But Mahaprabhu said, "Your Gaudiya." And Prabhupada in his purport, probably quoting Saraswati Thakur, says, this is significant. Everyone in Swarup Damodar's line, this is the Gaudiya line, Swarup Damodar's line. Because Mahaprabhu used that word in a very special way, your Gaudiya. These Gaudiya, this is what they do. And he's saying, actually, he's very pleased with this person. But externally, he's saying, this isn't right. Many things are going on there. But afterwards, and they have kirtan, prasadam, everything. But the Gopal, Mahaprabhu is dancing ecstatically, and Swarup Damodar is singing. It's inconceivable. Swarup Damodar knows how to sing just perfectly to augment the moods of Mahaprabhu. But the Gopal, other brother, Achyutananda's brother, he becomes too ecstatic and just faints and practically drops dead from ecstasy. And all the devotees are wailing and crying, Advaita, everyone's they're moved by all this and somewhat emotional. And that's when Mahaprabhu comes and says to him, Gopal, get up. But Mahaprabhu brings Gopal back to consciousness. It's very beautiful and sweet. And you see how much love and affection is there with these are the sons of Advaita Acharya, the Shantipur group. But what did you say to me? Oh, beginnings. So I'm saying, if it is this is, as we hear in Brid Bhagavatamritam, that, remember, it's amazing how all of these things connect. But when you make it to the point of where, in the first part, remember, both parts, sections end, or culminate in Asamaho Charanarenu Jushamahangsham, that sloka, which has been identified by Guru Maharaj as pivotal for Bhagavatam, because that's where Uddhava is saying the dust of the lotus feet of the Braja Gopis is the ultimate achievement. So it's about Radha Dasyam, establishing their supremacy, so many things. So when Narad is gone from, the Kumbh Mela Allahabad Brahmins, to the South Indian ones, to Puri, to Indra Loka, to Brahma Loka, to Shiva Loka, to Prahlad, to Hanuman, to the Pandavas, to the Yadavas, to Uddhava. Remember, Krishna's late for the Sudharma assembly. You go on the other side of the door. What's the problem? That day, he's feeling too much separation from Vrindavan. Can't get out of bed. And overhearing the queens, they're having discussions Someone saying, sometimes at night in his sleep, he's calling out the names of gopis. Another thing saying, what do you mean in sleep? Sometimes in the daytime, he's daydreaming. So once a year, he becomes overwhelmed by separation from Vrindavan. Those queens, they're asking Rohini, tell us more about Vrindavan. It's Rohini from Vrindavan. She's in Vrindavan and Dwarka. When she's telling them with great feeling about Vrindavan, Krishna, he's hearing all of that. He undergoes this ecstatic transformation where his arms, his eyes become very big, his form, and he takes the form of Jagannath. So it's Krishna, what we see is Krishna in Dwarka. Jagannath is Krishna in Dwarka feeling incomparable separation from Vrindavan, from Radharani and the Braja Gopis in Vrindavan. That's who Jagannath is. That's why he looks like that. This is an ecstatic transformation of feeling separation from Radharani and the Braja Gopis. And he's stunned. So, if in that position you can begin, talking about beginnings, if you can begin to take him to Vrindavan, what better beginning could you ever conceive of beginnings? What beginning would be superior to this one? It's the ultimate beginning, the best ever. I remember hearing Prabhupada say that when I was new, he would say, it's the emotional ecstasy of taking Krishna to Vrindavan. Because when I joined 71, by Gurudev's, the Nrsimha Chaturdashi, a few days before, the Dashami. So, which was the day after my birthday. So it all worked out. So within 2 months, Prabhupada showed up in San Francisco for the Rath Yatra. And I once said to Guru Maharaj about it, I said, I was 19, and so many others were very young, and suddenly we were immersed. You talk about immersion, total immersion. Right? We were totally immersed in all of these things, and on some level, I was saying, on some level, appreciating it. And Guru Maharaj said, yes, he extended you the capacity to appreciate it. That's what it is. That's what the whole of Krishna consciousness is. The extended appreciation, capacity to appreciate it. What Mahaprabhu did to Sarvabhauma, what every extension of Krishna consciousness has ever been, a gracious, merciful extended capacity to appreciate that. Right? Reality for itself, by itself. Guru Rupa Harim Gauram. Mahaprabhu comes and Radharani's to preach Krishna consciousness. Why didn't he preach some other way? Because there's nothing superior to that. He couldn't, this is in his estimation the most superior. When he saw what she has, that awakened him in him the tendency to distribute this also. The highest thing, the best. And it reaches its zenith at this pastime. And that's why Guru Maharaj says, Saraswati Thakur, Vrindavan's for the shallow thinkers. He got that from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Kurukshetra's for the man of real bhajan. Now we're back to this. Saying, because separation has reached its zenith, whoever will render service at that time will draw the maximum remuneration. That's why it's the best time. And that's why on this day, at this time, with this concept and this understanding, Guru Maharaj began Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. It's the beginning of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. This moment, this point. Nothing Guru Maharaj does is by accident. And everything is multi-layered, multi-dimensional, and profound to the infinite degree. He's bringing you in connection with the pinnacle of Krishna consciousness. That's when his mat springs out of that plane. And his mat proper takes people into that plane. That's what he's doing. And that's why nothing compares to it. Right?